This preseason is absolutely forced, Dana and I to be more creative in the office when thinking about sort of what we want to do. Ironically, in January when we had just come back from a trip to Florida for a goalkeeping clinic, we sat down and we laid out sort of a 5-week plan. What do we want to get to, by when, and sort of we wanted to push the envelope this season because we thought that this was a group that could sort of really take things and turn it into action quickly, and we threw that out the window sort of on day one. So I think it definitely has forced some creativity on our end. Our goal when dealing with the weather has been to maintain positivity. That's a goal for us that we set in the fall, and so thankfully that's played out well, and really sort of I think the fact that the focus was on being positive, not knowing that there would be obstacles ahead of us this large, has really sort of allowed that positive vibe to grow throughout the preseason and to really sort of be put to the test, which is good because that's what you want the preseason to be, is to be challenging. So it's been challenging for obviously many different reasons, and as far as the lacrosse piece goes for us, it's been about sort of breaking down our skill set and really sort of figuring out what are the skills that we need to develop in our players, and finding ways in small space to break down those skills. So we may not be talking about how we're going to transition the ball, but we're certainly going to talk about how we're going to work defensively to force pressure in the midfield, and how we're going to learn to throw through that pressure in the midfield, and it's forced some thinking about our game, which has been a challenge, but been a challenge that I think in the long run will pay dividends.
The weather has been crazy. Probably not ideal for our season, but I think Michelle and Dana have done a really good job at, adapting to being inside PepsiCo, where we have a much smaller space. They've really come up with new drills that really get at, the fundamentals that we're trying to install in our defense and our offense. But when we can get outside, we really are all positive. We're using that time as best we can, being intense, and it kind of really all goes back to, we just say it all the time in practice, amongst the teammates, like, when you're out there, you got to make the best of it. No whining, no saying I'm cold. Like, you got to prepare for the cold, and you got to be focused in practice for the little time that you have. So it's really just, trying to stay upbeat and yeah, getting creative in terms of drills is kind of what our coaches have been doing, which has been really awesome.
I've just been so encouraged by the way the team has come together. I think in the past we've had really strong teams, and we've had teams that get along really well on the field and off the field. But this group, it seems effortless for them to have that chemistry and to really sort of connect with each other. And they're a team that really likes to have fun, and I think that's showing up in the way that they play. And it's really sort of lending itself well to the way we'd like to see our offense run, and the way we'd like to see our defense run. I think it's about that sort of effortless chemistry that seems to be happening, and I've been really encouraged by that. And it's been a very fun group to coach. They put me in a better mood when I show up at practice, and that sometimes is hard to do.
Our team has kind of grown in a way that's different to previous years in terms of really encouraging and almost facilitating the younger players to grow as much as they can and take leadership as much as they can. Like, even our freshmen, today we're out there calling plays on the offense, and and as a senior leader and as juniors, we're trying not to hinder that at all. We're trying to encourage that and really get them the confidence that they need to go into Saturday or season opener. And I think it comes from every member of the team. It comes from sophomores encouraging freshmen, it comes from sophomores encouraging juniors, and just comes from everyone, and everyone's really on board with that, which has been really awesome. And it's really allowed for a lot of our new players and our returners to find new levels in their play that they might not have found before.
You took the words right out of my mouth, and that's sort of a phrase that I have used on more than one occasion when talking about this group, is that sort of idea of knocking on the door. I feel confident that we're ready to bust down that door, and I think we've grown a lot. I have grown as a coach, and I think this program has, sort of become, something that represents who I am, and also represents the players that we have on the team now. And so I think it's really exciting to think about this team and their ability to bust that door down, because that's our goal, is to be conference champions, and we want to be in the mix throughout the season. We want to be a team. I think last year we were a team that sort of underperformed in the regular season and was still able to make that conference championship game, which speaks volumes, to the leadership that we had last year and to the group that we had playing last year as far as talent goes. But, this is a group that I think really sort of wants to be in the driver's seat throughout the course of the season. In addition to sort of talking very freely about wanting to win the conference championship, we've talked a lot about how every game is an opportunity to prepare for that championship moment. So, games aren't just, games against opponents. They're practice for the championship game. And I think that speaks again to that mindset and the mentality that this group has. It seems to come effortlessly because that comes from them. And I can sit with Dana in my office, and as a coaching staff, we can sort of toil away about what we want to accomplish. But in the end, it is driven by the team, and I think it's really exciting to see that with this group.
Our biggest goal is, getting beyond the NUMAC tournament. That's really what we have in mind. We work every day towards that. As a person that's been on the team since freshman year and getting, to the NUMAC finals, getting there so close, you can taste it, and then not, coming up with it, we are hungry for that this year. But, in terms of, day-to-day stuff, we work every day, as hard as we can. We pressure I play defense. We pressure our attack as hard as we can. They might not have a great day, but we know they're getting better, and they trust in us that it's coming from a good place. And the attack makes us better every day as defense. And it's just, we're really working as a unit in terms of trusting each other and working hard and knowing that, if we want to achieve that end goal and go past the NUMAC tournament and come out with a win in that tournament, then we really are just relying on each other day to day to, push each other to do that.